Coach Vermeil joins us now. Coach, thanks a lot for hopping on this morning. We appreciate it as always.
Oh, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, Coach. And let's start with, obviously, this game the Eagles played last week in Buffalo. Incredible performance from the defense. Coach, just how good is this defense now in the way they're playing, the way they were able to shut down that Buffalo offense last week in Josh Allen?
Well, you'd have to say they're exceptional. Especially when the offense is not playing well, that puts all the more pressure on a real good defense. Imagine how good they would be if the offense was performing somewhere close to equal. So, you have to give Vic and Howie and all the people that put that defense together and the coaching staff. And Nick has done a great job of providing the coaches the opportunity to coach the defense that well. And it's just outstanding. They're especially good in pass defense. In the NFL today, everyone says you got to throw the ball to win. Well, when you throw the ball against the Eagles, you're throwing against the best. Even last year, you can run the ball on us a little bit this year and that stuff, but throwing the ball, our defense is exceptionally good.
They really are, Coach. And I wanted to ask you about the offense as well, because obviously, you look at the struggles last week. They're really good in the first half, really struggled in the second half. And one of the consistent themes is the Eagles find themselves in second and third and longs a lot. Just, as an offensive coach, how important is it that you get in better down and distance situations? How much easier does that make things?
Well, that's how you consistently move the ball. When let's say we always call a successful offensive play a 4-yard plus play. And when you're not getting that on the early downs, it creates the worst situation, the third and longs. That's why they don't do a great job right now, percentage-wise, of converting the third downs, And it just, actually, offensively in most stats, as a team, we're below the average team in the NFL. Our scoring drives, we're 27th in the league in successful scoring drives. And when you look at the teams that are not very good, that are below you, the Saints, the Jets, the Titans, the Browns, the Raiders. So we're just not a very good offensive team right now.
Well, and Coach, you say, we're not a very good offensive team right now. It's week 18. So how much of this offense do you think is this just kind of what it's going to be? Like, what is your optimism that they can get this offense going a bit more in the playoffs? Because they're going to need to beat some of these good teams.
Well, I have confidence in our coaching staff, but when you have played at a certain level for a whole season, it is dramatically tough to all of a sudden be totally better at the end of the year. The only team that I've seen really do that was Tom Coughlin's Super Bowl team when they won 9 and lost 7, got in the playoffs and won the World Championship. Okay, it can be done. It can be done. But, boy, it is rare. You are what you are, and I'm quoting Bill Parcells. You are what your numbers tell you are. And right now, we're not a very good offensive team. Our defense is outstanding. If we play halfway decent offense and don't turn the ball over, we can still win.
Coach Dick Vermeil joining us now. And, Coach, interesting situation the Eagles are in this week where they can still get the 2 seed if they win and the Bears lose to the Lions. It seems like Coach Sirianni and the Eagles have decided to rest a lot of their guys this week. Just curious, from your perspective, how would you kind of approach this leading into the playoffs? You could still improve your seed, but how important is it to get some of these guys who need a little bit of a rest this week?
Well, I think every situation is uniquely different according to your personnel, your philosophy, your coaching staff. I used to do when I had the opportunity. I didn't have the opportunity many times. I used to play the starters in the first quarter, okay, and then take them out gradually through the rest of the ball game and let the other kids play. If it didn't matter, if it didn't make a difference. I think the number 2 seed is better than the number 3 seed, but you're going to play a good football team in the playoffs anyway. And I think that's how they must figure. But McKee, the young quarterback here, I'll be surprised if he doesn't play exceptionally well. I'll be surprised. He's not playing against a very good football team in the Commanders. I almost said the Redskins. In the Commanders. But I'm anxious to watch him play. I really am, because I've been so impressed with him when he's played in the preseason.
Yeah, and in these divisional matchups, Coach, I know you know this very well. How big of a factor do you think it is with, what Dan Quinn said after their last Commanders game where they were kind of upset that the Eagles went for the 2-point conversion. He said kind of like, well, we'll see them in 2 weeks, like almost in a, I don't know, a threat way, saying, well, we'll get our payback then. We know that they can get pretty chippy. We saw it happen the last time these two played. How much is that a factor in a coach's decision to, play starters or not?
Well, I don't think it makes any difference to, for example, the Eagles, but I do think it's a little motivational tool, something you sell all week. They don't respect us. They showed that by going for 2. Hey, let's get after their rear ends and all that kind of stuff. It's just a conversation you use in your motivational approach and preparation.
Right.
And I think it helps a little bit. It wears off after the first quarter. Now you got to be who you were all year, But I think it helps a little bit, yes.
Just a couple more here, Coach. Now, the Eagles, at this point, they have 3 potential opponents in the first round. If they're the 3 seed, they can face either San Francisco or the Rams. If they're the 2 seed, they'd face the Packers. Who would you, most prefer to play if you were the Eagles going into the postseason?
I prefer the Packers. Okay.
Yeah.
The Rams are the best team I've seen play this year, okay? In terms of seeing them play a few times, when I follow them closely because I used to coach them, and I know people there. They're the best football team, I think, I've seen this season. Now, that doesn't mean they'll win Sunday, okay, or win the Super Bowl. But I would rather play the Packers because of the injury factor, and they just haven't been what everybody thought they would be, and you get to play them at home. So I would rather play the Packers than, in the San Francisco, they've done a remarkable coaching job. Yeah. Shanahan has just done a remarkable, lose the players he lost, not use it as an excuse to play poorly, and they used it to motivate those guys to play better, and they have. Here they are playing for the top seeds. So that's a great coaching job.
Yeah, their offense is playing on a different level right now. They're scoring a ton of points. But, Coach, I know you like to use the computer models here. What's it telling you about the Eagles game? And if so, what's it telling you about that Lions-Bears game as well?
Well, it's saying the Eagles win by 14.
Okay.
Okay, and the Lions and Bears, let me check that. I can look it right up here.
All right, cool.
Okay.
Sorry to put you on the spot, but I felt like
computer
that was an
update. I love
one.
it.
Yeah.
Let me see here. I'm going to go over here to this other page.
Yeah, we need the Lions to pull off that upset. Yeah, against the Bears this week. But 14-point win for the Eagles.
It says I have here Detroit by 2.
Detroit by 2. That would be a great result.
Love it.
Yeah. And
Coach Vermeil's computer doesn't miss.
No,
so.
it doesn't. That's great.
It's scary. It is scary. It's not really great on point spreads, but it's 70% correct on winners and losers.
Well,
Love it.
That's great news, and know what else is great news? If you live in Pennsylvania or Jersey, you can now get delicious Vermeil wines shipped directly to your home. Visit VermeilWines.com for Coach's entire wine selection. Coach, I was at my sister-in-law's house last night. They have a bottle of Vermeil wine unopened in their house that they were showing me last night. So they're big fans of that as well.
Okay, well, tell them to drink it. We need sales.
All right, we'll do. All right, thank you, Coach. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Happy New Year.
You too, Coach. Happy New Year. Coach Dick Vermeil joining us this morning. How about that, Fran? We get a little live computer update for the Lions and the Bears. I didn't want to put them on the spot, but we needed that pick.
They did it just for you, or he did it just for you.
Yeah,
because you're on the air.
We needed that computer model pick. So, according to Coach Vermeil's model, says the Eagles by 14 over the Commanders, and the Lions by 2 over the Bears. If it plays out well like that this week, we're all going to be happy on Monday and would be previewing a matchup with the Eagles and the Green Bay Packers next week. And it is true. I mean, that's the team that you would want to face. The Eagles have obviously dominated the Packers in recent years, and I think certainly the most preferable opponent.